Two minds are better than one. Steve Merrill, Dan Alexander. That's a dangerous combination. And we have researched the travel situation here for Rams-Jags Sunday morning in London. I do think there's an edge in this game also from a betting perspective. Full details, free play, free analysis for your Sunday Wembley game. Rams-Jags coming up free right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And we've back-to-back winning weeks here for your Sunday 9:30 a.m. Eastern kickoff. So let's go for a third week in a row. We'll give you a free play winner in a second. And I reference our producer, Dan Alexander, does all the great graphics here for my videos. And he and I were researching the travel for this situation. And I assumed the Rams weren't going back to his hometown of L.A., his new hometown of L.A. But what's interesting is we found out that they're staying in Baltimore all week until Friday. Not quite sure why you would do that. Why not get over sooner, minimize the travel and the distraction? And the Jags are actually doing that. They're leaving Monday, I believe, leaving from Jacksonville. They had a home game loss to Seattle, of course. Rams had a nice road game win in Baltimore. They've gone from West Coast to East Coast, 3-hour difference. Now they have another 5-hour difference to overcome. I don't think it's a big deal either way. And I do think not having the guys travel right after a game is probably easier on the bodies. They're going to practice at Camden Yards till Friday. So I'm not too worried about it. But I did think it was interesting to see the teams take two different approaches for this London game. And by the way, comment below, what are your thoughts? Travel early or travel later? I probably would have left on Tuesday, split the difference, leave on Tuesday or Wednesday and get acclimated to London and do some sightseeing. These games are a bit random, and we've talked about that the last couple of weeks. So I just kind of handicap them as a clean handicap, and I don't try to guess which team might have more fatigue or be more distracted. And like the Thursday night games, which we've done very well on, by the way, 6-1 heading into this Thursday's free play. By the way, 2-0 the last two Sunday mornings, as I mentioned. So maybe we're onto something. Let's just play the better teams in these games, and that's the Rams in this one. Let's not overthink it, and I feel the price is fair at -3 or less. Open 3 juice, but then early by Monday it was 3 flat. So we're getting a fair line here. And by the way, if you're new to sports betting, the reason I talk about that key number of 3 is on average, NFL favorites are going to win by exactly 3 points in this price range, at least about 9% of the time. So the difference between 3, 3.5 is pretty substantial. And the look-ahead line this summer was briefly 3.5 in some spots. So we're getting some extra value now at -3 or less. And also, I'm looking to fade Jacksonville. You know, we faded them 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Football with the Chiefs. I did a free play video for you in that game. Gave you the over as well, which did cash. But I also like Kansas City in that game. And it was feeling pretty good when they were up 14-0. I was a little worried about the over. Hey, but it felt like the side was in play. But yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs found a way to blow it. Did bounce back this past Sunday night. We had a best bet winner for you in both the video and for my actual clients with the Chiefs last Sunday night against the Lions. And I call that a misleading win because I don't feel like the Jags were the better team in that game. And it does look like they were exposed last week at home against Seattle. A really bad offensive effort, scoring just 12 points in that game. And I think that could linger here as they travel because the passing offense is not spot on this year. Huge passing edge for the LA Rams in this one. In fact, the Jags are averaging just 5.9 yards per pass against teams that allow 6.9. And then look at the flip side of that. The Rams throwing for 7.7 yards per pass against teams that give up just 6.5. Jags have been slightly below average pass defense. The Rams' pass defense has been one of the best in the league, just 5.7 yards per pass allowed. Almost a certainty that the Rams are going to win the passing matchup here by a substantial amount. And I don't think Jacksonville is going to overcome with the rushing edge enough to make a difference here. I know it's an international game, but both teams are leaving from the East Coast. Rams are the much better team overall, better defense, and the much better passing attack. And it's pretty much a straight-up win situation at -3 or less. Take a look at the LA Rams. Early Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's at Wembley Stadium in London. Comment below. I read the comments, I reply back. Include some analysis of your time. How are you attacking this game on Sunday? And do you like these London games? There's been some value for us here. Back-to-back free winners for the last couple of weeks. We'll try to make it third in a row here with this game. Don't forget also your Sunday night and Monday night football videos are always posted here. I give you your weeknight college football videos. That Thursday night prime game I talked about that's done quite well the last couple of seasons. 6-1 start this year, over 70% free on Thursday nights last year. We've been dialed in on these Spotlight National TV games, and I try to give them all to you free here on the channel. All I ask is a thumbs up, like, and if you have a couple more seconds, a positive comment below as well. It goes a long way to keeping these videos free and plentiful on WagerTalk TV. Hey, speaking of free, click and subscribe is free. Don't cost nothing. Over 200 and 24,000 subscribers. Can't be wrong. Consider clicking the bell as well when you sign up here as a free member on WagerTalk TV as a subscriber. Click the bell as well for an instant alerts. You know, when these videos are all posted throughout the week for the national TV games, the Spotlight games, And most importantly, my Saturday college football free play video with the top 25s, and also Sunday's NFL Fade the Public video. Click subscribe, click the bell for instant alerts. Now, if you want to get my official best bets, I give you all the Spotlight national TV games for free here in videos every week. Sometimes, like the Chiefs last Sunday night, they make my card and they become official best bets. But a lot of times they're opinions only. I give them to you here in the videos. I also post bonus free plays on my page that are last cut from the best bet card. But the only way to get my official client best bets, the same games I'm personally using each day, is to be a direct subscriber at WagerTalk.com. And I've got two very special offers. If you've been on the fence, thinking about getting on board, and by the way, use that shortcut you see on the screen, wt.buzz/SM. It gets you there quicker, saves you a couple seconds typing on the internet. But right now, when you go to my page at WagerTalk.com this week, all sports, all access specials, whether you want a short term or a long term. And by the way, it doesn't matter. Every client gets the same best bets I'm personally using. If I have a play, I send it to my clients. Whether you're a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, a 1 year subscriber, everyone gets the same plays I'm personally using. Same games I've won consistently with since I started over 29 years ago as a full-time professional in August of 1996. Right now, 7-day all access, normally $99, you get it for just $69. Instant $30 discount with the promo code you see on your screen. Week 30, WEEK30, week 30. Instant $30 discount on a 1 week all access. And yes, that is all access. It's going to get Major League Baseball playoffs each day that we have a best bet, college and pro football each day. And also basketball is here. Starts this Tuesday night. The NBA is here. So this is a great time to be an all-sport, all-access. Even the 1 week's going to get you into basketball next week if you time it right. Or if you want to get all sports, including college basketball, all of next year's baseball, the rest of this year's college and pro football into next year, the 1 year all-access is the way to go. Not only does it get every sport every day, but it makes you take a true consistent investment approach, and it gets the cost of investment down to just a couple dollars a play, because I'm giving you an instant $500 discount right now with the 1 year all-access. 365-day all-access, every sport, every day, instant $500 discount at checkout when you use that promo code you see on your screen, and that is year 500, YEAR 500, year 500, instant $500 discount on the 1 year all-access. So how do you use it? You go to my page, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see the drop-down menus for all the sports specials. Go to All Sport, All Access. If you choose the 1 week, use week 30. If you choose the 1 year, use year 500, and you'll get those instant discounts at checkout and get my best bets for just a few dollars a day, especially with that 1 year all access. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, to get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. On the way out, follow me on social media on X and Instagram at Steve Merrill. You see in the bottom corner of your screen, 2 R's, 1 L, MERRIL, at Steve Merrill on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV, because you know there's more free play videos coming up next. You know, ugly teams need love too. And there's 2 really ugly games this Sunday on the early card in the NFL, but I think there's some money-making opportunities with both of them. Free plays coming up for you in both the Dolphins-Browns and Saints-Bears games here for Sunday NFL, right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, right back here on Wager Talk TV. And, you know, just because a game is ugly doesn't mean you can't cash. I'm going to give you free plays in both these games with some analysis. I like the Chicago-New Orleans game a little bit better, but I wanted to quickly touch on this Miami-Cleveland game at the top of the video, because we have a battle of 1 and 5 teams here. But the sharp money lean looks like it's on Cleveland, and I say that because it's 2.5 now, but the sharper books are 2.5, -15, -20. Even bookmakers now have gone to 3+ money offshore, one of the sharpest books in the world. So if you're going to play Cleveland, I'd play it sooner than later. Grab the 2.5 before this game kicks off at 1 Eastern on Sunday. If you do like the Dolphins, wait for a +3. They might show, but I would rather have Cleveland in this game. A battle of 1 and 5 teams. The one edge that I think either team has here is that Cleveland is substantially better on defense, and they're at home. I'm not sure there's much home field advantage at this point after a 1 and 5 start, but they probably would like to get a win in front of the home fans. And if you look at this game overall from a defensive perspective, it's a pretty big difference. The Dolphins overall this season have given up on average 6.6 yards per play, and the Browns have given up just 4.9. So that's 1.5 yards per play worse defensively. Now, I know Cleveland's offense has been horrendous, and by the way, the Thursday night game, we cashed another play in that Thursday night free game with the over Bengals Steelers. I told you Flacco looked good last week against Green Bay, and then he looked good this past Thursday against the Steelers. And I'm bringing that up because how bad is this Cleveland offense? Flacco looked terrible in Cleveland, and it shows what a difference the receivers, the offensive linemen can make for a team. Flacco's looked fantastic in his 2 games with Cincinnati, which was a very explosive offense. Maybe Joe Burrow's not as good as we thought. Shh, don't say that. Or maybe Browning, the other backup quarterback, is as bad as we thought because he didn't do anything until Flacco came in. But Dylan Gabriel has struggled in his outing so far. Flacco averaged 5.1 yards per pass with Cleveland. Gabriel's averaging 4.8. Flacco at a 60 QB rating. Gabriel's been better at an 81. The reason's because Flacco had a lot of interceptions. 2 touchdowns, 6 picks. Gabriel, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So the youngster has not thrown interceptions. I think that'll be the difference in this game. Cleveland most likely going to win the turnover battle. They haven't turned the ball over in either of the last 2 games. Dolphins been a little sloppy at times this season. And Dolphins only win. They're 1-5 as well. It was a little bit of a phony win against the Jets. The Jets are horrendous. And Miami barely beat New York despite having a 3-0 turnover edge in that Monday night game a few weeks ago. We'll take the much better defensive team in a basic straight-up win situation. Cleveland at -2.5 or less. Hold your nose and play this ugly game on Sunday afternoon. Now, I do like this other one a little bit more. We have another 1-5 team, the Saints, playing the Chicago Bears, also at 1 Eastern. And this looks like a tough spot for the Bears. And by the way, Chicago is one of the most public plays this week. If you'd like to get all my public plays, check out my NFL Fade the Public video, which is right here on WagerTalk TV. And by the way, when you click subscribe, click that bell for an instant alert so you'll know when all these free play videos are posted, including my Fade the Public video every weekend. But Chicago's getting a lot of public love this week, and not a surprise. They just upset not my Washington Commanders last Monday night. And they definitely weren't my Commanders because we had a strong client best bet on the Bears last Monday night in that game at Washington. So not a surprise to me. I thought it was an excellent scheduling spot. Chicago was coming in off the bye week, but they've now won 3 in a row as an underdog. Upset wins against Dallas, the Raiders, and the Commanders. 3 straight wins as an underdog, and they'll be a dog probably the next 2 weeks as well at Baltimore, maybe at Cincinnati now. Who would have thunk? Flacco turning them around. So this is a little bit of a letdown spot, in my opinion, here at home. So definitely don't mind fading the public in this one if you're looking at the side in this. And by the way, Chicago currently about a 4.5 to 5 point favorite. But I think the total might be the better play in this game. Early money has pushed it from 44.5 up to 46.5. 46 is a dead number. 47 and 48 are key numbers. So at 46.5, which is the current line, I like the over in this one. I look for both offenses to move the ball. The Commander game last week came up just a bit short, just a bit outside from the total. Landed on 49. I saw it close around 49.5. But Chicago's moving the ball well offensively. They've scored 24 points or more in 4 of their 5 games. They've scored 21 in all 5 of them. They've scored 81 points in their last 3 games combined, those 3 wins. Looks like they're starting to figure things out offensively, and they should be able to move the ball against this Saints defense, which has been nothing special this season. Meanwhile, the Chicago defense, though, is still a concern, and that's one of the reasons I think the Saints could be a live dog in this one if Chicago comes a little bit flat, because letdowns normally happen more on the defensive side of the ball in these type of games. And Chicago's given up over 6.5 yards per play this year against teams that average just 5.9. Their run and pass defenses have been bad, especially their run D, and that'll give a little more time for a weak Saints passing attack, I think, to get on track. Do we dare look at a Saints team total over? You know, if I lean Saints and the over, that would get you leaning Saints team total over, and it's a pretty modest number, 20.5. Gets us right below that key number of 21. And the Saints' problem is they've scored 21 or less in 5 of their 6 games this year. But I do lean Saints. I lean over. Saints team total over 20.5 would make sense as well. But if you had to choose between all of those, I think the over 46.5 for the full game, because then we get that Chicago offense into the mix, is probably the best way to attack this at 1 o'clock Eastern Sunday. Hey, there you go. I talked about games involving 3 1-5 teams. Ugly, but I always bring it to you here on WagerTalk TV. I do all the spotlight games, including Commanders-Cowboys. I've got a free play in that late national TV game this afternoon on Sunday. Also, your Sunday night game, Falcons-49ers, both Monday night games, Buccaneers-Lions, Texans, and Seahawks. So I thought I'd mix in maybe an ugly game to keep you honest here for this week in the NFL Week 7. And don't forget my Fade the Public videos here as well. Let me know if you're liking these free play videos, if you're liking these double videos where I give you 2 games at once. And also if you're liking the weeknights, you know, the NFL Prime Game 1 again, I mentioned now 7-1 on our free Thursday NFL plays this week, this season as we cashed again this week. Sunday, Monday night games I give you free every week. All the weeknight college football games. I gave you all 10 weeknight college football games last week. And some people complained because a few of them didn't win. Look, folks, when I'm doing all 10 ugly weeknight college football games, they're not strong plays. Some of them are light TV leans only. I'm trying to give you information in all these games so that you're doing your own handicap and you can find some spots that maybe have some value. I let you know which way I lean. But keep in mind, if you want my official best bets, you got to go to my page at WagerTalk.com. We're on over a 65% all sports run the last couple weeks in baseball and college and pro football combined. And now the NBA starts this Tuesday, which long-term has maybe been my most profitable sport for the past 29 years. Now is a great time to be an all sports, all access client. And if you want to try out a 7-day sampler, get 7 days and nights for just $69, dude, with promo code WEEK30, WEEK30, WEEK30. Get you the next 7 days and nights of all sports, football, baseball, and basketball for just $69. Now, it's normally $99, but when you choose the 7-day $99 package, use promo code WEEK30 at checkout to get it down to $69. Or if you want a really good deal, how about a 1-year all access for about $1 a play? Instant $500 discount when you sign up this weekend. No promo codes needed. It's on the main page right above my daily free play. That's right, I post a free play on my page every day. Right above that, you will see the instant $500 sign-up link, plus a bonus 25% coupon for anything else you want to purchase over the next year from any other cappers. You don't have to get it from me, though. That 1-year all-access gets everything I have every day, my personal best bets that I am using. And by the way, it is a true 365 package, because if I ever pass when it's a small card, say maybe 1 or 2 games on the board, like on a Tuesday or Wednesday, if I pass, you get an extra day added on. So you get a true 365 days of best bets for about $1 a play with that instant $500 discount, plus the bonus 25% coupon. Whew, what a great offer. And don't forget, the NBA starts this Tuesday, and then the following Monday, the college hoop season starts. So the following week is the only time of year in which all 5 major sports that I handicap are going at once. So this is the ultimate time to get on board with an all-access pass, and that 1-year all-access gets it down to about $1 a play with the instant $500 discount right now this weekend on my page, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. On the way out, don't forget to follow me on social media at Steve Merrill, 2 R's, 1 L, MERRIL, at Steve Merrill on X and Instagram. And if you're liking these free play videos, all I ask is a quick thumbs up, like, smash it, click it, boom, you did it. Thumbs up, like, and positive comments below, and I will keep doing more and more of these free play videos, even some of these ugly games for you. And let me know your thoughts on this Sunday. Do you like either of these games? What games do you like? Hey, drop some analysis if you have time. Let's learn and earn and win together here on Wager Talk TV. And when you click subscribe, click that bell so you never miss out on free plays when they're on the channel here, because you know there's more free play videos coming up next.
Interested your take on this one, because I have a kind of a strong opinion in a weird way. We got Kansas City. We're about 12 points here, over under 45.5. Looks like Chiefs are getting Rashee Rice back. Geno Smith's been pretty rough this year. What do you think of this game?
Pretty rough. That's being very kind.
It's trying to be nice. It's trying to sugarcoat it.
Trying to be nice. Happy Friday. Okay. Here's the thing, though. Kansas City, yeah. Right now, they're knocking each other over, trying to jump on the Kansas City bandwagon right now. Why not? Okay. They've looked impressive last week against the Lions. And you've got, ever since Xavier Worthy come back, the offense started clicking. Now you've got Rashee Rice coming back. They're going to be even better. That's what the perception is. And yeah, you're correct on that. But here's the thing. Look at the Kansas City schedule. How many times can you play a high-profile game in a row? They've played 6 games so far. Here's the 4 big high-profile games. They open the season, division rival in Brazil against the Chargers. Then they play Philadelphia, second week of the season, in their Super Bowl revenge game. Then you play Baltimore. Before Baltimore, we found out that they were going to have all the problems that they had. Baltimore was still a good team. You play another high-profile game because coming into the season, Baltimore was everybody's choice to win the AFC. And then last week you got Detroit, everybody's Super Bowl contender from the NFC. In the 2 games that they played nobodies, the Giants in Jacksonville, well, guess what? Both of those games, one was a Sunday night game and one was a Monday night game. So as I said, 6 high-profile games. This is a division game, but look at it. It's a regular game on a Sunday afternoon in a 1 o'clock slot. It's the Raiders, who are horrible. Yes, it's a division rivalry. Yes, they hate each other. But after everybody they've played, if there's anybody you're going to look past, it's the Raiders this week. And when you look at the Chiefs, what's Andy Reid do when he gets a lead? He sits on the football. That's why the Chiefs have more one-score victories than any other team. And I think that's what you're going to see here. I want no part of laying the points with the Chiefs this week. I know it looks very easy to do, but I am going to go ahead and take the Raiders. They finally got a win, ugly win against, a bad team, but it's a win. Let's go with them plus the points. We've seen them in this spot before where they give Kansas City a fit, where you say they have no shot, and all of a sudden you're in the fourth quarter grasping, hoping that they survive if you save them for your survivor pick, Kansas City, for that week. I'm going to go ahead and take the Raiders plus the points. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game as well.
Tell everyone what you have up. We got the Weekend Warrior. I know you're locked in with college and NFL. What all do you have up for this weekend?
Yeah, we've got, obviously, if you want to come on short term, there's nothing better than a Weekend Warrior package. Get everything Saturday, Sunday, and our football on Monday. All football plays Saturday and Sunday. Last weekend, we went from Saturday through Monday, 9-3 for our clients with all plays. And if you want all plays, I've got a better deal for you. You want to come on for the rest of 2025? You can get all of my plays, every sport. And guys, right now, we got everything going. Hockey's underway. You've got the NBA starting next week. You'll have college basketball in a couple weeks. Get everything through the end of the season. There's 10 weeks left in the season or in the calendar year. If you bought all of my plays on a weekly basis, for those 10 weeks, you'd spend $990. I'm giving you the rest of the season, all plays for $449. That's less than $50 a week, and we're charging $49 for the Weekend Warrior. You're getting a whole week, and you're getting everything. Grab it, head on over to WagerTalk.com. Go directly to my homepage. You can pick up that special. Go to WT.buzz/MD. And if you want some more free winners from me, shameless plug, check out Marco's Deli. 18-11 on the season. We give you 5 plays every week. That is up as well. And, of course, always check out Bet On It, College and Pro Edition. Myself, Kelly in Vegas, and Vegas Runner. You can check out all of those plays. And then the Mega Show, you get everybody all the plays for this week's action. So a lot of free action for you. Check out the YouTube channel.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wager Talk TV. It's Thursday, October 16th. I'm Ross the Boss Benjamin, and I got 2 NFL winning picks on Sunday's card, which is Sunday, October 19th, in games between the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets, and also the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Could the Carolina Panthers win their 3rd straight game, or will the New York Jets finally be able to get off the schneid and get their first win of the year? Or will the Philadelphia Eagles be able to bounce back after that embarrassing Thursday night performance against the New York Giants, in which they were walloped 34-17? Or will the Minnesota Vikings be able to push their record to 4-2 at home and coming off a bye week? I have those answers and much more, so stay tuned. Before I get to those picks, just a couple friendly reminders, folks. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, Wager Talk TV, please take a second to do so. It's absolutely free just by hitting that subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell for Wager Talk TV. You'll be notified immediately upon any of our great content going up on our great channel. Be kind enough to give my video a like today, folks. I do my very best each and every time I come on air to give you the best quality video I could possibly give, and also to do my best to put you in the winner's circle with these picks. And today is no different. So kindly hit that like button, just a small ask, and let us know who you like in week 7, on the NFL card. Excuse me, folks. And just leave your picks in the comments section. And don't forget, folks, be nice to each other. If we're going to disagree on occasion when it comes to our picks and our opinions, it's sports betting. That's what happens. But it doesn't mean we need to go to war. Keep it clean. Keep it respectful. Don't be demeaning. Don't be vulgar. Let's keep it a positive community that you guys have done such a great job of doing so. I want to thank each and every one of you who reached out to Wager Talk TV and WagerTalk.com customer service to give me some well wishes, because I went through a little bit of a health concern. I thought I had a stomach bug a couple weeks ago. It ended up being a gallbladder infection, which led me to the hospital, which led me to emergency surgery, which led me to a 5-day stay in the hospital. But I'm good to go now, folks. Nothing affected me other than I know I have to have it removed in 6 weeks. But other than that, I'm doing well. And again, folks, I appreciate you guys' well wishes and kind remarks. And without you, these videos wouldn't be possible. And the success of these videos wouldn't happen without your viewing and your comments in the comments section as well. All right, so the Carolina Panthers at the New York Jets. It'll be a 1 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff on Sunday the 19th. Right now, the Carolina Panthers, after opening as an underdog in this game, are a 1.5-point road favorite with a total of 42.5. Both of these teams' strengths offensively are running the ball. As a matter of fact, in this pass-happy NFL, the New York Jets have run the ball 49.1% of their offensive plays this season, while Carolina, on the other hand, just a shade behind that at 45.6% of the time. As a matter of fact, the Carolina Panthers have run for 239 and 216 yards in their last two games. And Rico Dowdell, their upstart running back, has rushed for over 200 yards in each of those last two contests. The Carolina defense, on the other hand, they've allowed 104 yards or fewer on the ground in all 5 games this season. As a matter of fact, over their last 3 games, the Carolina Panthers have just allowed the opposition to run for 51.3 yards per game. Now, their offense is a problem on the road. I mean, this is a Panthers team that's 3-0 at home, but 0-3 on the road. And a lot of their reasons why they've been unsuccessful on the road has been their offense, which has averaged just 15 points per game and 311 yards per contest on the road this season. The Jets are coming off a 13-11 loss versus Denver in a game that was played in Europe, and they had just a pathetic 102 yards of total offense in that game. And their defense played very well against the Broncos, allowing just 246 total yards on defense. I like this to be a low-scoring, boring affair. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets to go under the total of 42.5. Before I get to my next game, Philadelphia, Minnesota, folks, $49 Weekend Warrior Special again this weekend. You can get all my Saturday college football picks, Sunday NFL picks, and there's 2 games on Monday night. So whatever I put out on Monday night, you'll get that as well. 3 days of college football and NFL picks from yours truly for just $49 right now at WagerTalk or my direct link, wt.buzz/RB. That's an absolute steal, folks. And why do I say that? Well, the NFL since week 3, we're 8-4. NFL college football combined since September 11th, 25-13, 66%. College football this year, 19-10 to start the season, picking up right where I left off last year as I was number 1 in both win percentage and units earned in college football. And since the start of the college football season in 2022, I have been number 1 in units earned. I should say 2023. Since the start of the 2023 college football season, number 1 in units earned at WagerTalk.com. Current college football runs beyond the 19-10, going back to the last 2 seasons. 79-45 with my last 124, 64%, and 145-95, 60%. With my last 240, and that goes all the way back to September 9th of 2023, and over that course of time, a huge net profit of exactly 112 units. Take advantage of this special, folks. $49. Saturday college football, Sunday NFL, Monday NFL, includes 5% best bets as well. So take advantage. $49, wt.buzz/RB. All right. So Philadelphia at Minnesota, Right now, the Eagles are a 1.5-point road favorite. The total in this game is 44. As I alluded to at the top, Philadelphia is coming off that embarrassing 34-17 loss to the New York Giants in the Thursday night game, and they were blown out as a road favorite of 8 points. Philadelphia, by the way, 5-0 to the under since 2022 on the road after allowing 30 points or more in the previous game. Again, Philadelphia 5-0 to the under on the road since 2022 after allowing 30 points or more in the previous game. And those 5 contests averaged only 36 points scored per game. The Philadelphia offense this year has left a lot to be desired, a huge regression as compared to last year, when they went all the way to the Super Bowl and walked away as world champions. This season, the Eagles are averaging only 274.5 yards per game on offense and converting less than 35% of their third down opportunities. Minnesota, on the other hand, offensively, not much better themselves, averaging just 305 yards per game and converting on only 31% of their third down chances. So both teams, hard to sustain drives when you have third down percentage conversion rates that low. The Minnesota defense, on the other hand, 289.8 yards per game and only 19.4 yards per contest allowed. And speaking of third downs, the Vikings, the opponents are averaging only 30.2% conversion rate on third down against the Minnesota Vikings this year. And putting things in perspective, the Vikings have allowed 326 yards or less in all 5 of their contests this year. I like this one to be another low-scoring affair, maybe in the high 30s to low 40s, and I'm going with Philadelphia, Minnesota under the total of 44. My other pick is on the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets, also to go under the total of 42.5. Don't forget, $49 Weekend Warrior Special. Take advantage of that. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do so. Until the next time, for Wager Talk TV and Ross Benjamin, take care and God bless, folks.
Patriots face the Titans. Cardinals will be hosting the Packers. Welcome, everyone. I'm Andy from Wager Talk. I'm going to tell you why I like one favorite and one underdog in these 2 games. Let's start the breakdown with the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. Packers coming off of a nice win against the Bengals. Before that, the tie at the Cowboys and a very frustrating loss against the Browns. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, I'm recording this it's Friday morning. I'm going to be doing this breakdown assuming Jacoby Brissett is going to be playing, not Kyler Murray. So if anything changes, that's going to change the handicap here. But I'm a Colts fan. I watched every play of that Colts-Cardinals game, and some people in the chat on Wager Talk today were saying Jacoby Brissett may be better than Kyler Murray, and it was this oh ha ha joke. And then you watch the game and you watch Jacoby Brissett go 27-44 for 320 yards and 2 touchdowns in a very, very close game. And when I'm looking at some of these stats, not really great news for Kyler Murray here. You want to look at yards per play. I know it's a 1-game sample size, but with Kyler Murray, Arizona, 5 yards per play. With Jacoby Brissett, 5.7 yards per play. And that's a real problem when you're the starting quarterback and your backup comes in and does better. Now, is Jacoby Brissett in for the long term? No, of course not. But he did look good. Nice little pop from Bam Knight as he scored a touchdown. Trey McBride continues to deliver, and this Packers defense, they're going to be at the top of most of these, opponent yards per play. They're ranked number 2 as far as yards per play on offense for Green Bay. They're number 8 at 5.8 yards. So they've been getting it done, but I'm not sure if I'm a complete believer in this Packers team, and that's why I'm going to take the Cardinals plus 7 points. There's 6.5s out there, and there's a few books with 7. I would highly recommend, if you're playing the Cardinals, maybe wait a little bit and see if you can get 7, maybe even 7.5 if Jacoby Brissett plays. But I'm happy with a touchdown here. This is a Packers team that, they won by 9 points, but against the Bengals, Cowboys tie, they lose to the Browns, 9 points to the Commanders. But I believe that was the game without Jaden Daniels. Let me check on that real quick. No, Jaden Daniels was there. But again, not super dominant. They held the Commanders to 18 points. I like this Cardinals team at home. You look at some of these stats here. Team opponents per game. Green Bay, again, is going to be 10 at 20.4. But Arizona, not completely terrible here at 21.2. So you look at opponents' points per game. They're within 1.5 points. And then we look at team points per game as to what we're scoring. You got Green Bay at 26.2, and you've got Arizona at 21.7. So everything kind of points me in the direction of saying that the Arizona Cardinals are going to cover the spread if Jacoby Brissett is playing. If Kyler Murray's playing, then disregard. But with Jacoby Brissett playing, I like the Cardinals to cover this one. If you want to look for a player prop in this one, take a look at Jordan Love, over 10.5 rushing yards. He's gone over this the last 4 games, and the last couple games he's gone for 26 and 28. So he's healthy this year. Last year he did not rush for a lot, but that's because he had multiple injuries in the leg. But he's a mobile guy, and when he has a chance to run, he's going to do that. So 10.5 on Jordan Love's rushing yards seems pretty low. We're going to break down the Patriots and Titans. If you guys want to join it with me and partner up with props, our NFL props pack is up. We cashed on Thursday night. That makes it a 13-6 run. Props is where I do all my damage. You guys have been watching me know this. This is what we specialize in. Any play that we have in NFL is just going to be a prop. I believe we've got 6 or 7 props up. This includes Sunday and Monday. So jump on board that. We have everything ranked about the same, and we're just looking for a winning record each week. Goal is 58, 59%. We're at 56% right now on NFL props for the season. 5% UFC best bet is up. This goes off on Saturday. We've hit our last 4 big bets, 4% and 5% plays. Excited to cash that one. If you're looking to really diversify your portfolio, as Steve Merrill would say, we got a 4% cricket play that goes off on early Saturday morning. So a lot of really good things. NHL's in full swing. Our NHL props are off to a profitable start to the season. NBA's next week. So a lot of really good things over at wt.buzz/AL. Again, 5% UFC play. NFL Week 7 props pack, all plays for Sunday and Monday are included, and we got that 4% cricket play. All right, let's take a look at the Titans and the Patriots. And after researching everything, I've just come to the conclusion that I really love the Patriots in the spot, and I think they cover the number. I'm going to use the Patriots in Survivor. I've gotten pretty cute the last few weeks with my Survivor picks. I'm going to take a little bit chalk here and fade this Titans team. Yeah, they have the new coach coming in. It's going to take a while to try and fix this team. This team is just really, really bad. They lost 20-10 to the Raiders, a miracle win to the Cardinals. They get blown out against the Texans, blown out against the Colts. Cam Ward has really struggled. And, you can bring in a new coach and you can have a new attitude and you can try and do some new things, but they are just at the bottom of everything. Yards per play, dead last at 3.9. Team opponent yards per play, they're giving up 5.6. Team opponent points per game, they're towards the bottom, giving up 26.8 points per game. How are they doing scoring-wise? 13.8 points per game. This is just going to be way too much for a new coach to try and fix. You've got injuries to Calvin Ridley. It's already a weak wide receiving core. I don't really see where the offense comes from, and I don't really see where the defense comes from. You look at rushing, again, right near the bottom, 81.8. Only the Bengals have been worse. And how are they against stopping the run? Not that good. They give up 133.7 yards per game. This is a variable revenge situation. That narrative has been beaten to death, but I just believe this New England Patriots team is for real, and they're fighting for a division title right now. They're coming off a nice win at the Saints, 25-19 win. They beat the Bills at Bills 23-20, and they've had 3 road games and they've won all 3. I don't think this is a big stretch to ask them to come into Tennessee and win by margin. So I'm going to lay the 7.5 with the New England Patriots. I think this is a 2-score game. New coach has a lot of work to do for the Titans, and I'm not sure this is going to be an easy fix, if it's fixable at all this year. They just don't have the talent there. So, all right, we're going to take the Cardinals plus the points. We're going to take the Patriots minus the points. And if you want a player prop in the Patriots game, it's going to be Travion Henderson to get over 35.5 rushing yards. If not now, when? For Travion Henderson. He has yet to go over 35.5 yards this season, but he's at 27, 24, 32, 28. And this Tennessee Titans defense is really, really bad. So Again, if Travion Henderson is going to go over against any team on this schedule, it has to be this week. I'm going to roll the dice and say that Henderson does get over against this really bad Tennessee Titans team. I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball, and I don't think the Patriots are going to have to throw a whole lot because they're going to eat up a lot of clock and eat up a lot of yards on the ground. So there's your player props. We got Jordan Love over his rushing, Travion Henderson over his rushing, Cardinals plus the points, and the Patriots minus the points. Let's partner up on NFL props and 5% plays. Good luck on all your bets. Have a profitable weekend. Take care.
So the Giants played great last Thursday night against Philadelphia. Cam Scatterboo went wild. Jackson Dart had a big game, both running and throwing the football. And the G-Men ended up beating Philly by 17 as 7.5-point underdogs. Now they go to Denver. How's it going to play out this week? Let's break it down. Teddy covers from WagerTalk.com with a big game breakdown. I'm looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen right now. I'm seeing the Giants pretty much 7-point dogs across the board. Total sitting 40.5 at most locations for this one. And 40, I'm going to focus on the total here. Let me tell you why I'm not going to play the side. There's ample reasons not to support either one of these two teams this week from a side standpoint. Denver just played in London. It was the ugliest game we're ever going to see all year in the NFL. 13-11 final, and it was, that was not pretty football on the offensive side for the Broncos. We've had plenty of not pretty football from the offensive side for Denver this year. Bo Nix is still going through growing pains. The offensive line has not been dominant. The running game has not been dominant, and Denver's offense has really been hit or miss all year long. Their defense has not. But Denver traveling 7 time zones, no bye week between the international game, which they won, exhale, and coming home. I can't lay 7 with this team, not with the way Bo Nix and the offense is working. That being said, the Giants, not a team we trust off a win. And I'm telling you, these Thursday night games, the randomness element is a little bit higher than it is for a game any other day of the week. When teams have short prep, you're seeing a lot of misleading finals that can point you in the wrong direction. So, yes, the Giants beat the Eagles, and the Eagles are, the defending Super Bowl champs, and the Giants were a 1-win team prior to that. So now they're a 2-win team. All right, they're not good. All right, Giants might be mediocre, they might be okay, but certainly when you talk about traveling to Denver to face an elite defense, this is not a scenario where I trust in Jackson Dart and company, especially with a receiving core that's not healthy and an offensive line that's been a little bit dicey. So sidewise, I can't make a case for the favorite. I can't make a case for the dog. From a total standpoint, however, this game is most assuredly worthy of a wager. Before I talk about what I like with the total, let me tell you about what's going on right now over at WagerTalk.com. I'm running good, guys. 5-1, 83% across sports this week, heading into the weekend. 14-6, 70% college football run over the last 4 weeks. I'm hitting 63% across all sports over the last 4 weeks. The MLB playoffs have been really good. I'm 18-6 with the last 24. That's 75% dating back to last year. And this year's been every bit as good as last year. So we're running good right now. We've got a ton of deals on my homepage, wt.buzz/TC, whether it's Weekend Warrior, gets all the football plays for $49. Whether it's a 30-day all access, you can get $50 off that, just $249 every play, every day, in every sport for $249. Again, the next 30 days, all access pass. You can get a full year right now. If you want to partner up for real, you'll get every play through December 31st, 2026. And you'll get the rest of this year for free with that package. If you want to get on board, again, check out the website, wt.buzz/TC. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the follows. We appreciate the comments very, very much for all of these free play videos. Makes all the difference with the YouTube algorithms. Thank you for hitting that like button. From a total standpoint, Denver's a one-way team, all right? From week 1 this season, we saw how elite this Broncos defense was, and that hasn't changed. And now they're facing a rookie quarterback who's fat and happy coming off a win at home. It's a step-up spot for a really good defense. I'm not anticipating the Giants lighting up the scoreboard in this one. And if I had to play one of the two team totals under, it'd be G-Men team total under, not Denver. But I think the full game under makes perfect sense. No, the Giants defense isn't great. But where's their strength? Their strength is up front. That defensive line is really good. And that's been an issue for Denver so far this season. When Bo Nix is pressured, yeah, he can scramble out of it, but he's not making great throws downfield. This is not a great running game for Denver, especially when their offensive line's getting beat. And there's a reason they only scored 13 against the Jets last week, a Jets defense that had been lit up. And of course, when you're traveling 7 time zones between last week's game and this week's game, we're not necessarily expecting a seamless offensive showing for Denver here. So again, you can find 40.5 right now. I'm not sure that's still going to be there by kickoff on Sunday. We are seeing some of the leading indicator books trending towards the under right now. But Giants, Broncos, for me, one way to play it, and that would be a low-scoring under for late afternoon action on Sunday. Thank you so much for watching WagerTalk TV. Stay tuned right here on this channel for more quality video content. And of course, the likes, the comments, the follows make all the difference. Appreciate your support, and best of luck with all your bets this weekend. Check out my page, wt.buzz. Again, wt.buzz/TC, or just visit wagertalk.com to get on board. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and thanks for watching. Cheers.
Interesting game. Worry about injuries for the Chargers. I love this Chargers team. Love my Colts team. I don't have a strong opinion on this one. How do you break this one down?
So look at the odds logic live odds screen right now. Colts and Chargers. I'm seeing LA minus 1.5 is a prevailing number. Total sitting in the 48.5 range. And there seems to be this school of thought that the Chargers are real and the Colts aren't. And Indy is just a fraud and a mirage. And the Colts haven't played anyone and the schedule's been weak. I'm not buying it. I'm a Colts believer, Andy. Okay. And yeah, they're a surprise team. They don't believe. Just ask anyone who rode Washington last year. Last year's number one surprise team. How, compared to preseason expectations, certainly, how good it was to ride the team that the betting markets don't respect. And Indy's that team right now. All right. October is a month where casual bettors, where recreational bettors have a chance against the wise guys. They really do, because the wise guys are still betting what teams are supposed to be, and the recreational bettors are betting what teams are actually are. And Indy is what their record says they are. This is a good team. All right. The matchups work for the Colts too. The Colts, by the way, would be the number 1 seed in the AFC if it ended today. All right. The Chargers, injuries all over that offensive line. All right. You and Kelly were talking about it earlier. The Colts, strength of defense is that defensive line. They have 16 sacks, 33 tackles for loss. Colts only 4 giveaways all year. Chargers have 8. All right. The Chargers, we saw Kamani Vidal, the pride of the Troy Trojans, have a huge game on the ground last week. Who needs Amarian Hampton? Who needs Najee Harris? Well, when you have 3 offensive linemen and your fullback out, it helps when you're facing the single worst run defense in the league. That's not Indy. All right. And by the way, even against the league's worst run defense, 7 red zone trips for the Chargers last week, 2 touchdowns. All right. We look at the stats right now. All right. Chargers have great numbers against the pass. Chargers against the run, bottom 5 in the NFL. Who would be my MVP if the season ended today? Jonathan Taylor, all right, who's been unbelievable for Indy. He's opened everything up for Danny Dimes in the passing game. That's why the Colts are working. So, yeah, Indy's facing an easy schedule. I get it. They got the Dolphins, the Titans, the Raiders, the Cards with a backup QB last week. They were lucky to beat Denver by 1. They lost their last trip out west to the Rams, even though they did outplay LA for extended stretches of that ball game. But not like the Chargers have been a who's who. They beat the Raiders, the Giants, the Dolphins. They got the Chiefs with no receivers. They beat Denver by 3. They lost by 17 to Washington. Chargers are the overvalued team here. Give me Indy plus the 1.5. Forget the 1.5. Take them on the money line.
Real quick, Teddy, tell everyone what you have up for everyone this weekend at WagerTalk.
So we're running good, guys. I mean, flat out. We're hot right now. 5-1 this week, 83% across sports. MLB or college football at 70% over the last 4 weeks. MLB at 75% dating back to last postseason. We're running good. Even the NFL, we won on Monday Night Football. And while the NFL has been choppy the last Sundays for the year, we're in the black, and we're on a I think 65% all sports run. Whatever, making money. Check out my page, wt.buzz/TC. We're in play in MLB. Playoff action for tonight. The NFL and college football will be posted as soon as I get off the show. And don't buy a play. Get on board with the package. The Weekend Warrior, $49. If you're looking to get every play in football, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that's a package to get. But we got a 30-day deal right now. That's you take $50 off. You got a 90-day deal. You have a deal if you want a full year, all access. Get the rest of this year free. I encourage you. Again, I'm not going to promise you anything that I can't deliver. I'm going to give you my best every day, and I expect to win long term, and we're running good right now. So that's what you get if you sign up for a package, wt.buzz/TC.
It's one of the best rivalries in the history of the NFL. Redskins-Cowboys. Oh, wait a second. Commanders-Cowboys. What? That doesn't sound right. Well, it's a big game nonetheless. The NFC East is wide open this season. Giants making a move all of a sudden. The Eagles look a little bit weaker. Cowboys and Commanders in the mix as well. I'm going to let you know how to play this game and make some money. Free play with analysis for your national TV game late Sunday afternoon. Commanders-Cowboys coming up right here for free right now. Hi, this is Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And by the way, I love the comments. I read the comments, I reply back. Nemo Ho had a great one. He said, why am I wearing a Commanders shirt? I was like, you know what? I never noticed it. The WagerTalk logo looks like the Commanders, not my Washington Commanders. You see all the Redskin gear in the background. By the way, WagerTalk's been around for over 11 years. It's got a little bit of a tail at the bottom. I think the Commanders are infringing on the WagerTalk logo. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Maybe we get that Redskin logo back after all, because of the infringement on the WagerTalk W. I'm going to look at the total in this game, though, in just a second. Quick reminder, though, if you're liking these videos, thumbs up, like, comment below. As I said, I do truly read the comments, and I love the support here on WagerTalk TV. Over 224,000 subscribers. Just can't be wrong. Two defenses that are terrible, two pretty capable offenses. Let's not overthink it. This might be the shortest, quickest free play in history, so I had to burn a couple seconds off here at the top. I like the over 54, 54.5. Now, it is pricey. I get that. It opened around 51.5. CD Lamb has been upgraded to available to play. He is expected to return a receiver for Dallas, and that is another reason why we've seen the Cowboys go from a slight home dog to a slight favorite this week. Washington opened as a 2-point road favorite. Now the Cowboys are a 1.5 point home favorite. I'm going to stay away from the side in this one, though. The Commanders, I think, are a little bit overrated this year, but they have zigzagged wins and losses. So if that pattern holds up, they probably get the win here. Washington's gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss so far in their first 6 games, and I just don't trust that Cowboy defense. But I'm not sure we can fully trust the Commander defense either, as they've been pretty suspect this year against the pass. And with CeeDee Lamb back in the mix, Dallas should throw the ball pretty well here, averaging almost 7 yards per pass this season. Problem is the Cowboys can't stop anybody. They're giving up almost 8 yards per pass attempt. Commanders giving up 7.5 yards per pass. These are two of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, so that should lead to some big plays, some quick scores. And of course, the Commanders get it done on the ground, averaging over 150 rushing yards a game, 5.5 yards a carry. Dallas is averaging 4.9. Both teams average about 5 yards a rush and 7.5 yards per pass, and both pass defenses give up 7.5 to 8 yards per pass. This should be a high-scoring shootout. I think the fact that the total is in the mid-50s is going to keep some people away from it, but as you know, my friend Ralph Michaels and I always say this in all sports, the highest totals go over, the lowest totals go under more times than not. And the reason is because when you get into this price range, the public starts to shy away. So at 54, 54.5, the biggest total on the board, I'm not afraid to play the over. This game might very well get into the 60s on Sunday afternoon. And by the way, this is your Spotlight National TV game at 4:25 Eastern on Fox. Cowboys Commanders up and over the 54, 54.5. Hey, what are your thoughts on Cowboys Commanders? Does it sound right, or should it be Redskins Cowboys like it used to be back in the 80s and the 90s? Comment below. I do truly read the comments, and I reply back. And also, let me know your thoughts on the side in this game. I think the Commanders keep that zigzag going. They've won-loss every game so far, and they, of course, dropped the Monday night game against the Bears, and that was a bad spot. We had a best bet on Chicago in that game, so not a total surprise to me. And I also gave you a free play last week on Carolina. We faded the public with Carolina against Dallas. Cowboys, by the way, have only won one of their last 3 games, a tie, a win against a terrible Jets team, and a loss, and they've had no turnovers. No turnovers in their last 3 games. They've still gone just 1-1-1. That's probably not a great sign either. Maybe a reason to consider the Commanders if you're looking at the side here, but I think the total is where the better value is, up and over for a high-scoring shootout on Sunday. As I mentioned earlier, click subscribe. Over 224,000 subscribers, can't be wrong. Shoot, it might be 225,000 by the time you're watching this on Sunday. And also click that bell as well. You will get an instant alert and know when these free play videos are posted throughout the week. I do all the NFL Thursday night games on Prime. Cashed again with an easy over. Talk about a shootout. Bengals Steelers, they got into the 60s. Now 7-1 on your free Thursday night NFL plays this year. Also do the Sunday and Monday night games for you. I've got Falcons-49ers Sunday night preview. Both Monday night football games this week. We have a doubleheader. Buccaneers, Lions, Texans, and Seahawks. And, of course, my NFL Fade the Public video for this Sunday as well. So many reasons to subscribe for free and click that bell as well for instant alerts. Now, I do all these spotlight games for you, the national TV games, each and every week in both college and pro football. Sometimes those games make my best bet card, but most of the time they're TV opinions only. Look, when I did all 10 weeknight college football games this past week, obviously most of those aren't going to be strong enough to be plays, but I'm giving you analysis on all these spotlight games because I know many of you are doing your own handicapping and want to play them and watch and win. But if you want my official best bets, and sometimes these are under-the-radar games in college and pro football, not the highlight games, then you want to get my best bet service. And what a great time to be on board right now. The baseball playoffs are here, World Series next week. NBA starts this Tuesday, just a few days away. College hoops starts the week after. Great time to be an All Sports All Access client. And right now you can get 7 days of All Sports for just $69 with promo code WEEK30, WEEK30. The promo code is WEEK30 because it's an instant 30% $30 discount off the normal rate. You go select the 7 day, you'll see it's $99, but at checkout, use promo code WEEK30, you get it down to $69. That's 7 days and nights of college and pro football, Major League Baseball, and basketball. One price gets it all, less than $10 a day, less than $5 a play. Or if you want a serious long-term investment approach, and that's what I highly recommend, the 1 year all access, what a great special right now, instant $500 discount on my page, and no promo code is even needed this weekend. I've got it up on the main page, right above the daily free play. Go check out that daily free play, and you'll see the other special offers right above it, including the $500 instant discount on a 1 year all access. And by the way, that is a true 365 days of best bets, because if I ever pass, if it's ever a small card, 2-3 games on the board, I never force anything. I treat this as an investment. I only play strong plays. If I ever pass when it's a small card on like a Wednesday or a Thursday midweek, you get an extra day added on. So you get a true 365 days of all sports, all access. That's college and pro football, college and pro basketball, and Major League Baseball. Now's a great time because all 5 sports are about to overlap. Next week, when college hoops begins, or the week after next week, baseball will still be going. It'll be the only time of year you get all 5 major sports at once. What a great time to make a serious, consistent investment approach to sports betting with the 1 year all access and save $500 instantly. Oh, and by the way, you're getting a bonus 25% coupon included with that package. No promo codes needed on that. The 1 week you need week 30. All the other ones, special offers up there, including a $50, I think, off a 1 month football only if you want football only. A lot of special offers. Go check them out. See my best bets. See the daily best bets recapped at the bottom. The last 20 best bets show at the bottom. You can click on them to read the analysis as well to see how I do things. And don't forget about that daily free play as well that I post on my page. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker. Shortcut, WT.buzz/SM. On the way out, don't forget to follow me on social media as well, at Steve Merrill, 2 R's, 1 L, MERRIL, at Steve Merrill on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you know there's more free play videos coming up. And once again, if you're liking these free play videos on the way out, make sure you click the thumbs up, like. If you have a couple more seconds, leave a positive comment below because I do read the comments. I reply back. And stay tuned. I've got your Sunday night and Monday night games coming up next. Sunday Night Football on NBC, Falcons and 49ers. I've got both the side and total free for you for Sunday Night Football with analysis right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, right back here on Wager Talk TV. And if you're liking these primetime videos, Thursday, Sunday, Monday Night Football, each and every week, all I ask is a quick thumbs up, like, and I will keep them coming each week here on Wager Talk TV. Click that thumbs up, like, and hey, drop a positive comment below as well. Always appreciate it. And I do read the comments and reply back. All right, the Sunday night game here on NBC, 8:20 Eastern, here in Week 7, Atlanta at San Francisco. Look-ahead line this summer was San Francisco minus 6.5. Now it's the 49ers minus 1.5 to minus 2. Much lower number, and that, of course, is because Brock Purdy is injured, and he has been ruled out as of Friday evening, ruled out again heading into the weekend, which is Mac Jones is expected to start. Adrian Martinez, the backup quarterback. But the big news from an injury perspective, and the good news for San Francisco, is that tight end George Kittle is expected to return this week after being injured back in the opener on September 7th against the Seahawks, in which he had 4 receptions and a touchdown before going out in the second half of that game. Only his second game back this season. He's a big play weapon. The last 2 seasons, he's combined for 2,100 receiving yards, 143 receptions, 14 touchdowns, and more importantly, last year he averaged 14 yards a catch, and 2 years ago he averaged 15.5 yards per reception. So that will add some explosiveness to a 49er offense. It's been a little bit complacent so far this year. Don't think it's going to help the running game, though. San Francisco has struggled to run the ball this season, averaging just 3 yards per carry. But they have been good throwing the ball, 7.3 yards per pass against teams that allow just 6.5. And now with Kittle back in the lineup, I'll look for that number to be even higher. However, the Atlanta Falcons do have a strong pass defense, one of the best in the NFL this year, giving up just 139 passing yards per game, just 5.4 yards per pass against teams that average 6.8. The Atlanta run defense has been their weakness, giving up almost 5 yards per carry, but once again, not surely fully sure. I'm not sure. I'll spit it out. I'm not sure if the 49ers' weak rush attack can take advantage. However, this does look like a bad scheduling spot for the Falcons. As you recall, I gave them to you last Monday night in a free play video right here in their upset win against the Buffalo Bills. We faded the public as well. Buffalo was a very public selection last week. Keep in mind, 2 weeks before that, the game before that, they had a bye in between, but the game before that, the public was all over the Commanders, and we faded that public dog. So 2 weeks in a row, the public has lost fading the Falcons. We have cashed in both times using Atlanta. Straight up wins against Washington and the big underdog win last Monday against the Bills. Now they have to travel cross country on a short week. So while I do think the Falcons have been an underrated team and the better team overall this year, this does not look like a good scheduling spot. And keep in mind, the last time they took to the road back in week 3, they lost 30-0 as a road favorite against the lowly Carolina Panthers. Penix Jr. also has been much weaker statistically on the road during his short career than he has been at home. He's had good numbers at home, but his worst start this season was at 40.5 rating, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns at Carolina. Wouldn't be surprised to see him struggle a bit here in this primetime game on the short week and the big travel. So I would lean 49ers minus the 1.5. There are 2s otherwise, so shop around. This line anywhere from -1 to -2. But I also like the under 47 in this game. Total is way too high. In fact, if you look at the numbers this season, Atlanta has gone under in 4 of their 5 games. Yes, the Niners have gone over in 3 straight, and that's because they're a pass-heavy offense, but they're still statistically a good defensive team, giving up just 5.5 yards per play. In fact, the Falcon games this season, Atlanta's scored 20, and they've given up 20 on average. Their games have totaled 40 points on average against teams that combine to have about a 48.5 point average. So their games have been 8.5 points lower scoring than the teams they have played. Same with the 49ers. They've been outscored 21-21, 20.5-21 to be exact. So their games have averaged just under 40, just over 42 points. The Falcon games have averaged just 40 points, and both teams have been below average versus opponents played. This total should be in the 30s based on those numbers. I do think it'll be a little bit more than that with Kittle back in the lineup, but if Penix struggles, as I think he might, I like under 47 in this game on Sunday night. 49ers and under the total, I think, are 2 ways to attack this game on NBC. What are your thoughts? Side, total, player props. How are you playing this game on Sunday night? Once again, I'd be careful with the Penix stats. I think he might struggle a bit here on the road. Do you think he will, or do the Falcons get it done for a 3rd straight big game? What other games do you like this weekend in the NFL? How did you do? If you're joining us late Sunday, how did you do in the daytime action? Drop them in the comments below. Always love to hear your insight, and we do learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And once again, if you're liking these free play videos, all I ask is a thumbs up like. I've done every Thursday night game this year. We cashed again with that over in the Bengals-Steelers game this past Thursday, an easy over winner. Now 7-1 in your Thursday night prime games this year. I've given you the Sunday and Monday nights as well. Another doubleheader this Monday night. Keep in mind, last week, as I mentioned, gave you the Falcons in that Monday night video for free. Also gave you the Bears as a best bet to my clients. And now this week, 2 more Monday night games, Buccaneers, Lions, Texans, and Seahawks. That free play video is here on WagerTalk TV as well. All I ask is a thumbs up, like, and a positive comment below, and I'll keep these primetime games rolling for you. Free play videos each and every week. Don't forget also the college football weeknight slate is full. I gave you all 10 weeknight games this previous week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for free here on the channel. Click subscribe, it's free, and click that bell as well. You'll get an instant alert, and you'll know instantly when these free play videos are posted every day so you never miss out, including my college football top 25 for Saturdays and my NFL Fade the Public video each weekend for Sunday. Click subscribe and click that bell for an instant alert here on WagerTalk TV. Now, these national TV games get a lot of interest. That's why I do free videos for you. And sometimes I like these games more than others, but a lot of times they're light opinions only. The only way to get my personal best bets in the games I'm actually using is as a direct client, a direct subscriber at WagerTalk.com. And I do have a very special offer this weekend, which is still available. In fact, several special offers, because I want you to get on board in All Sports All Access. Baseball playoffs are here. World Series is right around the corner. NBA starts on Tuesday, just a few days away. College and pro football in full swing, and then the following week, college hoops starts the following Monday, November 3rd. Right now is the best time of the year to be an All Sport All Access client. If you'd like to try 7 days of All Sports, get an instant 30% discount with promo code WEEK30. Choose the 7-day on my page. You'll see it's $99, but at checkout, it's only $69 when you use promo code WEEK30, WEEK30, WEEK30. Gets an instant 30% $30 discount on a 7-day all access. That gets you football, baseball.
The Prep Queen, Ariel Epstein, and I am taking you through the next hour, making sure that you have all of the sharp edges of the day. Let me also change my microphone. Okay, now we're good. I'm really excited that we've got Yanni coming on today, and I'm going to find out all of the sharp sides that we need to know about. And John Murray from over at the Westgate Superbook, he's going to tell us where the books are, what they need. You all know that my group chat dies for those needs every day, so we definitely need those needs. And then, of course, at the end of the show, Carmine Bianco going to join us and give us his best bets going into this week 7 slate on a Sunday. We currently have the London game where it is raining and gross, and the game is just as gross. LA's up 21-0. The Jags missed a field goal to at least put some points on the board. You know, Kelly and I were talking about this on my Prop Queen pod on Friday. She said, I don't know what world we feel confident laying 3 with the Rams on the road in London, but I also don't want to bet the Jags. Like, it seems so fishy. Sometimes the lines, we have to believe them. When the book's giving you 3 on the Jags, who are used to playing in London, you had to think like, okay, something's up here. This number should be 1.5. Even if the Jags were like dogs at plus 1.5 in London, fine. But catching 3 for a Jags team that's been playing so well and a Rams team that lost Puka Nacua this week, their stud wide receiver, you had to think, okay, the books are telling us the Rams are the way better team this week, and it's clearly showing. So anyone who had Rams -3 going into today, congratulations. This one sucks. London games suck. The Thursday night football games have been great. Some of these London games are just atrocious, and you wake up excited in the morning, but nothing to be had there. I've got some props. We've got some other line moves that are kind of sketch. We've got some really ugly sides today that I know based on watching Bet on It here at Wager Talk that Yanni the Greek is going to be on some ugly sides. But that's what we like. We like ugly sides. We like to sweat it out. We like to be sadistic. We love to hate ourselves watching games because guess what? If you're unhappy the first half, you probably might be happy the second half. So let's bring him on. Yanni the Greek coming on live from Las Vegas. We're going to talk Major League Baseball. We've got the ALCS tonight. We've also got some NFL Week 7 to talk about. Yanni, how are you today?
Never better. Never better. If you're not betting my
stash.
I've grown it back a little, felt a little nostalgic. It's taking me back to 2020. We just keep winning. I don't mean to tout, but if you're not betting my college football and NFL, you just don't like money. We're just crushing it. 9 weeks of college football, won 8 of those. Yesterday hit a 5%. I think it went like 8-2 on my 4%. We've just been on absolute fire in college football and NFL since the regular season started. So I'm not going to waste any time. I sent out to subscribers only 2 first half team totals that are 3% plays. Let me give them to you real fast right now so I don't forget them. It's Minnesota first half team total under 10.5. That was a 3% play. And then I gave Cleveland under first half team total under 10, also 3% play. But we like Cleveland for the game. Scares me a little bit. We're on Cleveland money line at -140, good to -150. But there's a lot of public money on Cleveland as well. We need that game to go off at -3. If we don't see that game go off at -3, we're going to be worried on the Cleveland side. But my money's already in. I got Cleveland on the money line, but we bet them under in the first half. But as you can see, that total's just been steamed from 40.5. The look ahead, the opener was like 40. Now you're looking at 34.5. So obviously, a lot of under money from the Sharps. So we got team total under as well. Sent out a couple full game team totals, but those were bigger bets. But take me wherever you want to go. I got so much information.
Well, you talked about that under, and you're talking about the Browns-Dolphins game. There's supposed to be heavy winds. There's supposed to be rain. It's not just that game. I saw bad weather impacting the Saints and Bears game, the Miami-Cleveland game, a chance for bad weather in facing with Carolina and the Jets, Tennessee and the Jaguar game started already. So any of these bad weather games that the totals are probably dropping, like I saw in the Saints-Bears game, that total is dropping. At this point, is it still worth unders, or are there numbers now that we've missed the boat on?
That's the best question. Because here's why. This relates to everything with sports betting, every market, every sport.
Missing
Knowing
numbers.
the weather is going to be atrocious doesn't help you after the books adjusted for it and the market has responded. Unless you get out ahead of that, meaning you anticipated it, you saw 40, you saw it go down to 39, you're like, okay, that confirms it. And then you get down at 38, let's say, that's a great bet. But now that they've dropped it down to 34.5, that weather's already been factored into the betting line. So knowing it's bad weather helps you zero. It's like if they adjust the line for an injured player, knowing that player's injured is zero, means absolutely nothing. That's the problem. That now the narrative is low scoring, but the market's already responded. It's already reacted to that. So now you're not getting any value for that bad weather. If anything, you need to sit back, wait for the book to adjust, wait for the bettors to overreact, because that's what recreational bettors do. And then once the book is forced to adjust more than they should, come back the other way and look for a reason to bet over. You shouldn't be looking for reasons to bet under when the line's already moved 4, 5, 6 points away from you. You haven't gotten ahead of the market. So what are you trying to do now? You're buying at the worst possible time. You don't want to do that. Again, this game could end 3-0, Ariel, and it would still be a terrible bet because you had all those numbers to get down on. Why would you wait until the absolute worst time?
Right.
That's not a good habit. So for me, when a line moves that significantly, I look to go opposite, or I pass and say I missed it. Like, I'll wait for a better bet to come along.
That line too for Saints and Bears already went from Bears -5.5 to -4.5. I know this was a game that you guys talked about on Bet On It earlier this week. A lot of us like the Saints. We liked them at +5.5. How about 4.5 now?
Yeah, I don't think that's a big. I mean, I get it now with the 2-point conversion. 5 matters more than it did 10 years ago. I get all of that. What I simply do is, if it's not a key number, a huge key number, 3, 7, and I still like that side, I simply just lower my risk, limit my bet. So instead of a 4% play, I make it a 3% play or a 2% play, because now I don't have as much value to place such a good bet. Your bet size should be in relation to your edge. Mm-hmm. So if my edge is smaller, I have to bet less. If my edge is greater, that means I should be betting more. Like, that's a practice you have to get yourself into doing over and over and over again. Again, that's after you become more seasoned and you're able to quantify value. Otherwise, just flat bet the same, everything real small in relation to bankroll. Otherwise, you should be doing that bet sizing in relation to your edge. And again, 5.5 plus 5.5 gave me a better bet than +4.5. So I'm going to have more money down at 5.5 than I would at 4.5. I still like the Saints side. I would still bet it, but it wouldn't be a 4% like I sent out to my subscribers. We actually got 6 on the Saints. When I see that a line's going to move that much, I'm willing to buy the half point, even if it costs me a penny, 2 pennies more than I should be paying, because maybe I should be paying 116, 117. I'm paying 120, but knowing it's going to move a whole point after that, that would have cost me 20 cents. So I'll do that with my subscribers and make sure they lock in a good number. And we got a good number with the Saints at +6. What's going to happen is going to happen, but I'm comfortable with it. And at 4.5, I'd still place a bet.
We like the Saints. Now, the big game narrative-wise, you've got Mike Vrabel going back into Tennessee after he got fired by the Titans with the Patriots, who are now laying 7. Key number. in Tennessee. And I remember on Bet On It, you were like, narrative, who cares? Because this number now is hitting 7.
I'm on Tennessee. I got 7.5 on Tennessee. I would take 7 on Tennessee. Let me see what it is right now.
So we're fading the narrative.
Ooh, 6.5. It's 6.5. If you could buy it up, wow, it's 6.5 now. We placed another great bet. If it gets to, if you could get it up to 7, I would take it up to 7 as long as you're not paying more than 125. It's worth doing if you agree with me. Here's the thing with Tennessee. They've played the toughest schedule, arguably the toughest schedule in all of NFL. Like, again, actually, it's the number 1 toughest schedule. And what they have ahead, it's not going to get easier for them. The rest of the year, it's the 4th toughest schedule. So this is a team that's not going to win a lot of football games, but the spread becomes the great equalizer. And they don't have to win a lot of football games when they're catching a lot of points. They just have to outperform the betting market. And it's so skewed against them right now. The bias is so against them. I was comfortable. I'm getting the best of it at 7.5. The market agrees with me. It's now 6.5. So we placed a great bet. I still think it's too high. I don't think that line is warranted for this New England team. That's now their 3rd straight road game. It's a tough spot for them, playing a team that's not in their division. I just don't think it was a good spot for New England. I think Tennessee, again, the narrative is that, they're the worst team in the NFL. I could agree with that data-wise, but that is also a reflection of their strength of schedule. We talk about it in college football. Texas Tech, what did we see yesterday? Miami, what did we see yesterday? Last week with Oklahoma against Texas, what did we see? Strength of schedule matters. There's a reason some teams are 6-0. They haven't played anyone yet. So for me, I like Tennessee here. I think the only thing they could do is improve off of recent performances. Give me the touchdown. I'm all over it.
Strength of schedule matters. Spots and schedules matter. The Chargers, they're in a good spot. Colts, not so much, except I feel like everybody I know, all the sharps, all my friends, people in group chats, people in the chats on these live streams, people are loving the Chargers this week, Yanni. It just makes sense scheduling wise. How much are you buying into LA?
It does, but I have a future on LA. I'm as biased on the Chargers as you could get. I need them to go season win total over.
I want them to win the division.
I'd love to see them win the division.
3-1.
I'd love to see them represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. My pockets would be fat. I'd really like to see that happen. Here's the problem right now. You're getting in front of this Colts team that's playing lights out. Like, are they going to regress towards the mean? Probably, because I don't think that Daniel Jones is the number 1 quarterback in the league. Meaning right now, his passing success rate is number 1. Better than Goff, better than Stafford, better than Mahomes, better than Love, better than Darnold. You get it. I don't think that's sustainable. Okay. If this was a baseball season, I would bet everything I have that he's going to regress. In an NFL season, unfortunately, it's not long enough for that regression or progression to always happen, but I still expect it to. I have to see glimpses of it first before I step out in front of this freight train called the Indianapolis Colts. Remember, coming into the season,
so
they got
the Chargers today.
Yeah, I'm not betting the Chargers. No. My money will not be on the Chargers. I don't think I'm going to be fading them. I don't think I'll be on the dog unless I tease them. I think Indianapolis teased up to 8.5 is a great bet. High total isn't ideal, but being able to go through 3, 6, and 7 with these two teams based on the power rating, I think it's a no-brainer plus CV side. Now you got to find another side to it, but I absolutely
I'll give you one.
You put Indianapolis in it.
We haven't talked about this big game yet. Probably one of the best games in the early slate. Eagles-Vikings. The Vikings went to 1.5 at one point this week. They're back up to 2.5. I've been thinking about teasing them at plus 2.5, the Vikings. How much do you believe in the Vikings at home as home dogs against these Eagles that are going to be scratching and dying for a win after losing and getting embarrassed in primetime to the Giants?
Yeah, I don't like that the betting syndicates are on Philadelphia. I like that for if you like Philadelphia. But that worries me as far as using the Minnesota side. I did see confirmed sharp action on Philadelphia that you touched on is in dire need of a win. They're coming off losing back-to-back weeks as favorites of 7-4. So we've seen that adjustment here. Obviously, there's an adjustment. They're 1.5, 2-point favorites in this game. And seeing the public money, it's on the Eagles. What's weird is that the look ahead was 2.5. So they didn't adjust off that loss. Like, it was a half-point adjustment. Nothing.
Well, at one point it went to 1.5, but not off. It was 1.5 at one point, but it bounced back to 2.5.
Yeah, that's when they got involved. That's when
Right.
you saw sharp money come in and bet the Eagles. I think you got to use Minnesota in a teaser because it sets up that number. Like I always say, when it comes to teasers, try not to handicap the game. Your opinion shouldn't matter. The only thing that should matter is you're using the teaser for those numbers, and that's it. It's not advantageous any other way. You're better off laying 110 and betting the point spread. Long term, you're going to either win more money or lose less doing it that way. I promise you. Teasing is not
how about the
advantageous.
total in this game?
In the
Vikings
Eagles game, you got to go over. I think you got to go over. I think it's a low total for these two teams. I think it's based more on a recency bias. I don't love it because, we've already seen the adjustment off the opener of 42.5. Now you're looking at 43.5 and 44. I agree, though, with the market. I think it's over or pass. I think you will get some points in Minnesota.
A total that's dropped is Panthers-Jets. So I'll go 44.5 to 42.5. This line also flipped against the Jets from -1.5 to +1.5. What do you see, whether it's a side or a total in Jets-Panthers?
Let me see if I saw any sharp money there. Oh, a one-sided public money on the under. They're betting this game under heavily. Like obviously sharp money steamed it at the opener, but since then the narrative has been no scoring, low scoring, and you've been seeing a lot of under money. As far as the side goes, I don't love it. Like I don't want to waste the viewers' time. Their opinion's probably stronger than mine because it's not a game that I'm going to be betting. Gun the head, I'd probably be on Carolina. What business do they have being road favorites? Carolina road favorites. So for me, like the red flag goes up. Like there has to be a reason for that because they didn't open that way. So someone likes them. There's a reason that they're now the road favorite. I wouldn't fade that. I don't have any conviction to fade that move. So for me, it would be follow the move or pass.
I thought it was interesting that the Dallas Cowboys, who are home this week against the Washington Commanders, that the line went from Dallas +2.5 to now flipping their -1.5, and their cornerback, Trayvon Diggs, did something that caused a concussion in his house this week and is going to be out. This is the worst pass D in football. They're still bottom 10 against the run. They're without their Pro Bowl corner, yet the line moved in the Cowboys' favor. And I liked the Cowboys this week at +2.5, +1.5, with when I thought Trayvon Diggs was going to play. How come this line moved in favor of Dallas with so much going wrong?
Wise guys are all over the Cowboys. They steamed them. This is another NFL game where you have the public and the sharps on the same side, the Dallas Cowboys, anything less than a field goal. And I think it's more a fade of Washington than a real bet on Dallas. I don't think there's a lot of confidence on the Cowboys other than, they're playing at home. And remember, these two teams, Dallas has owned the series. I know Washington won the last game, but in the series, I'm pretty sure Dallas has owned them. Yeah, they've won 7 of the last 10, like 6 of the last 8. So I think it has to do with a lot of the history. Washington's covered once, dating back to 2021 against them. So history, Dallas has just owned them. And like I said, I'm seeing a lot of sharp money on the Dallas side, but also public money. I think Washington, though, sets up as a teaser. Again, it doesn't have to do with the handicap. It has to do with being able to go through 3, 6, and 7. And in that game in particular, you have the perfect total, 40.5. If you're not expecting to have a lot of points scored, each point's worth more, right? That's what you want to be teasing. So for me, regardless of handicap, like there's some good teasers on the board. Denver Broncos are on the board. Indianapolis is on the board. Miami is probably going to be on the board. Like there's a lot of plus EV teaser spots today. Don't pass those up. Even if it's against your handicap, it becomes irrelevant. You're just placing a plus EV bet. It would be like walking up to the roulette wheel and all of a sudden they're giving 50 to 1 to pick a number. Dude, you don't care about what number. You don't know the number. Like the handicap becomes irrelevant, but you're getting 50 to 1 and they should be giving you about 38 to 1. So you're going to bet. It's a plus EV bet. Same thing with teasers. Don't worry about the teams. Does the number let you place a good bet? Bet it. There's a lot today to do that with.
Prime time in the NFL this week. We've got 2 Monday nights. We've got the Sunday night. What do you see?
I like Detroit. I actually gave Detroit on bet on it.
I like
the
them
problem
too.
is I'm on an island with 8 billion other people, and it looks like it's starting to sink lower and lower. The line's climbing, and it's been nothing but Detroit money. Obviously, that worries me.
Tampa Bay just announced that there's a good chance that Emeka Egbuka could play, which is a big deal. And Mike Evans is going to play for Tampa as well.
Yeah, this is a 5-1 Tampa team, man, and catching this many points against Detroit. I get it. Detroit's looked good lately. I have them number 1 power rated in the NFL. But now looking at it, and it may get if it gets to 7 by tomorrow, like that's just a lot to be given. Tennis, like, what has Tampa done wrong? They've come in covering back-to-back games, scoring 30 plus. Like the only loss they have is by 1 score to the Eagles. Like they played great. And now you have a Detroit team coming off a bad loss on prime time against KC, like giving so many points. I like Detroit, but I don't like what I'm seeing from the market. The second game, I liked Houston. Again, I thought Seattle, a little phony for me. Like I'm not sold on Seattle. Again, they just, I wouldn't lay the points. It's up over a field goal. I haven't bet the game. I don't love the game. All 3 primetime games, I'll tell you right now, I haven't bet any of those yet. I haven't really gotten involved. Hopefully something changes between now and then. I usually do, because the public money will affect these lines, and hopefully they move and give us some value. But like, they didn't jump out. Like, I love these 3 primetime games we have.
How about Major League Baseball before I let you go? ALCS tonight.
Here's the problem. I need Seattle. I have Seattle for 40 units.
Well, Luis Castillo screwed you, so you
to
can
win the AL, and then 100 units to win the World Series. I hedged in game 1 and game 2, and when they were up 2-0, that only happened 15 times in Major League Baseball playoffs. 14 times that team that went up 2-0 on the road won the series. So when they were up 2-0, I was comfortable. They lost game 3. Okay, they lost game 4. I'm forced to hedge again now in game 5, like I did. So now I've lost 3 hedges against them. I need them to win tonight, so I don't have to do this again. I don't want to find myself in the position. I didn't handle it well. So I really need Seattle to get it done tonight, and I like the matchup. I do. I don't want to see a game 7. I like Seattle. I lean under as well. Like, this is backs to the wall. You're going to get everything out of Toronto. Like, I don't think they're going to leave pitchers in there for long. This is your whole season's on the line. You'll deal with game 7 when you get there. You can't look at what I'm saving for game 7. So I think with Toronto's going to throw everything at Seattle, I think you got to bet the game under. And like I said, my money's going to be on Seattle. I need Seattle. I won't be betting Seattle, but I'll be cheering in Seattle for sure.
Yanni the Greek, thank you as always for coming on, as you do
Make some
every
money
day
there.
here on Last Call on Sundays. Appreciate you. What are you promoting today?
I got my package up, NFL package. I'm not pushing a 5-star. Our 4 stars have been crushing. Last week we hit 2 NFL 5% plays. Get today's card. I like what I have in there already. Still got some more work to do for some later games. Just keep grinding. Bet size correctly, and you're going to just keep making money with me in college football and NFL. NBA and college basketball are next, so get on board. Head on over to WagerTalk.com. You still got some time. Thanks for having me, Ariel. Good luck today.
Thanks, Yanni. Good luck today. Coming on now, we are going to be joined by my great friend, Mr. John Murray, coming over from the Westgate, the Superbook in Las Vegas. JM, we know that we need the needs today from over there in Vegas. We're a little frozen. Ooh, StreamYard's not liking us today. I hope that there we go. Can I hear you?
I got you.
Nope.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
Shit.
Oh, no. Are we going to have to do sign language?
Sorry, kid. You don't got me?
There you are.
Okay. Yeah, we've had some bad connection this morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You have a storm or something in Vegas?
We did actually, not today, but we did yesterday a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know. The connection this morning has been a little faulty. But you got me right now.
Can we take advantage of you guys today?
I hope not. I mean, you wouldn't want to do that, right? I mean, don't you want to hear what we're rooting for so you can root for the same teams?
Absolutely. I would love to be on the ugliest sides of the day with you, like we are every week. Kelly told me last night, she called me. She said, I'm going to need JM's needs today.
Oh, yeah. Well, she has, because she has no access to me directly. So, of course, you got to.
No, she relies on me. I think this is her test of her friendship every week to see if I'm going to provide for her the winners. And I think this all stems on you. So our friendship is in your hands, John.
That's a lot of pressure. I don't know if they're going to be winners, but I can tell you what we're rooting for. We're rooting for.
Let me write this in the chat. Go for it.
We definitely need the Raiders. Raiders off of a win last week. Now they're at Kansas City this morning. They're plus 12.5 at the Superbook, 6-1 on the money line. I'm sure Kansas City is going to be a super popular survivor play. In fact, 24 people in our survivor contest at the Westgate are left. 20 of them used the Chiefs. If the Raiders somehow win today, that contest could get very interesting in week 7. We need the Raiders. We need the Titans. The other four people. The other 4 people that didn't use the Chiefs used the Patriots. We need the Titans plus the points. They're down to plus 6.5. And it looks like in the afternoon, the big one is going to be Arizona. That should be fun. Arizona is at home against Green Bay. So 3 just ugly.
So much fun.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like fun, huh? Is that what you got?
Well, here's the thing. I was thinking of jumping in on Tennessee because everybody is loving this Patriots narrative of Mike Vrabel's return to Tennessee. Fired up. Let's kill him. But Tennessee also just fired their head coach. And we're not talking about that kind of narrative of fighting for your team after firing a head coach. Are the Patriots really worth 7?
Yeah, we're down to 6.5. So obviously it looks like some sharper players did take the points, did take the 7 points with us at least. That, that's interesting because that's probably, I think it is the most lopsided ticket count of the day is New England. So, and the line has gone from 7 to 6.5, despite it being the most lopsided ticket count of the day. So usually that can be a good indicator. Tough to bet on the Titans. I was watching them. We needed them last Sunday. They were here in Las Vegas. They got crushed by the Raiders. And I remember saying to your friend Kelly in Vegas, how the heck did this team
not your
beat
friend, my friend?
Your friend, your good friend. How the heck did they beat the Cardinals the week before? Down 21-3, but they did somehow. But the Titans they're a tough team to root for. They're
I don't know. You might have in one of my pick'em contests now. I might have to take the Titans. I'm starting to feel a little love for Tennessee.
Do you want me to give you some plays we've seen sharp action on, Ariel? I can do that too.
Yeah, I'd love that.
I would say for sure Philadelphia. So Philadelphia at minus 1.5.
Is that also, late week sharp action? Because people were buying in on Minnesota early this week, and then the line moved back to Philly.
That came in pretty late, actually. I would say Philly at the end of the week. They played. Get ready for this one. You'll love this because they do it every week and they lose every single time. The New York Jets. They took the Jets plus 1.5. The Jets are at home against Carolina.
That flipped also from minus 1.5 early this week.
Yeah, that should be a great game. Two really fun teams there, Panthers and Jets. They definitely took the Jets. And then in the afternoon, one that did flip as well, the big one probably in the afternoon, Dallas. Dallas went from a small underdog. Now they're a small favorite at home against the Commanders. They're a 1.5 point favorites. I'd say those 3 are the sides. And then Monday night, it's actually a pretty good doubleheader on Monday night. They did take Detroit minus 5.5, and we moved to Detroit minus 6. Tampa Bay's got a lot of injuries on their offense, although I feel like with Baker Mayfield, it doesn't even matter. Like I feel like they could just pull some guys out of the stands, and Mayfield would make it work. The guy is awesome, but they did take Lions minus 5.5 in that one. Not much on the Sunday night game.
I know. I haven't heard. Yanni didn't have anything to say either.
Really, not much there. I mean, we've moved a little bit with the market. It's come down a little bit. We're at
How
San
much
Francisco
of that
-1
is
right
like the
now.
Niners
Of course,
and the
San
health,
Francisco.
and no one knows what's really going on in San Fran now that they've lost some of their key defensive stars? It's another game of Mac Jones, Ricky Pearsall.
It's got to be the injuries.
Yeah.
You know, San Francisco. I feel like this has been the theme the last few years with them. So many guys out. Now Fred Warner is out. He's the leader of their defense. The money has definitely come in on Atlanta, but I wouldn't really call it sharp money, at least here at the Westgate. We're mostly just moving with the market. Not a lot to report. Certainly, for sure, the most lightly bet Sunday night game of the year so far, without question. Part of that, I think, is because it's going up against ALCS Game 6, which is tonight in Toronto. We have a lot more, we've got a lot more betting action on that game than we do
Sunday Night Football?
For now, yeah.
Wow.
For now, we took a lot of money on the over in that game. We'll be rooting for the Blue Jays, unfortunately for Yanni.
So Blue Jays and under tonight?
We need the Blue Jays. We would like to see it stay under.
Okay, Blue Jays and under in ALCS. Totals in the NFL, by the way. Jessica in the chat's asking, what about the totals you guys need?
Totals we need. That's a good question. I have to look
Chris
that
Thurston just wrote back to the needs list of Raiders, Titans, and Arizona and said this is an exciting Sunday.
Chris Thurston, these are the same teams we root for every week. I mean, it's like those three and the Cleveland Browns are like, we don't really, this week the Browns game is a little bit different because they're playing another just horrible team. But these are the teams we root for every week. It looks like we're gonna want the Giants-Bronco game to stay under the total. Right now it's at 40.5. We don't want that one to go over the total. Let me see if I can give your listener there one more of those. Let me see. Totals are tough. Good question. It's good to have your viewers keep me on my toes like that, man.
We love that.
Yeah, and then you know what? We'll need the Green Bay Arizona game. We'd like to see that stay under as well. We'd like to see that stay under 44.5.
I feel like you guys always need Arizona Cardinals games to stay under.
Yeah, it does seem like we've said that before, huh? I agree with that. Yeah, that afternoon's a little rough. You know what? Colts-Chargers is one of the more interesting games of the day, where we saw sharp money early in the week on the Colts, and the number got down to like a pick 'em, and then late money came in on the Chargers, and right now the Chargers are actually a 2.5-point favorite in that game.
Oh, you guys moved to 2.5? It's been 1.5 all week. And I've been loving the Chargers. Kelly likes the Chargers. Chris likes the Chargers. People who I had on my show this week like the Chargers. Yanni, everyone likes the Chargers. And I'm like, now everyone likes the Chargers. So do we stay away from the Chargers?
Late sharp money on the Chargers here. I know a lot of questions about their offensive line. You know, they got both of their tackles out. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to overcome for them. But I will say here, at least, we did see some sharp money on LA.
The Saints, we haven't really talked too much about. And you guys moved that line also from 5.5 to 4.5.
I was staying away from that one because, we did see some sharp money on New Orleans, but it was early in the week and the numbers are long gone. You know, they were taking like +6, +5.5. We're down to 4. I think I even saw some 3.5 out there, if I remember that correctly. The numbers that they bet New Orleans at are gone. But yes, when New Orleans was a 6-point dog, for sure, that was a sharp play.
What do you want to say to Budzilla19 asking me for the 80,000th time if I'm related to Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, that's pretty rude, Budzilla. I mean, how could you? Why does he keep asking you that? That's a very rude question.
People always ask me this question as if I'm the only other person. Me and Jeffrey Epstein are the only two Epsteins in the world.
Isn't that a fairly common last name?
Theo Epstein. No one compares me to him.
Yeah. I'd rather be compared to Theo than Jeffrey. Why can't I have been
part of the GM's breaking up 2 curses in baseball? Right. Why can't we talk about that guy?
Theo's a better look than Jeffrey. I would rather, I'd rather be compared to Theo. That's what your people in the chat are asking. Why don't they ask about like a pick or something? They're asking about Jeffrey.
Why are we here to talk about my life? If you guys want to talk about my life, I could tell you how miserable I am, that the Ravens suck, and that I'm subjected to going to Thanksgiving in Baltimore because I told Grandma I would see her for Thanksgiving, so I'd go to the Ravens game. Well, so now I have to go to the Ravens game.
Don't give up on the Ravens. I think the Steelers losing to the Bengals on Thursday night really opens the door for the Ravens. You know, they're right back. If they win next week and they get relatively healthy, I mean, they'll be right back in the AFC North mix. Don't give
that
up.
division doesn't look very strong. The Steelers look like
No.
crap.
They do look terrible, and they lost
Lamar
again.
should be back.
I think Lamar will be back. I think they host Chicago next Sunday, a week from today. And don't give up.
Get Miami.
Don't give up. But come on, Budzilla, you're better than that, man. You're better than that question, man.
Thank you. Someone asking about the Broncos and Giants game.
Yeah, so good two-way action in that game. They took Denver -7 early in the week. We were at we were at Giants +7 even. We saw some money come in there, but today the numbers really pushed up. Denver's in a lot of money line parlays too. So I do think we'll need the Giants in the afternoon, but not as much as we'll need Arizona. It's not that big of a need, but we will be rooting for the Giants.
All right, and I guess now I have to root for the freaking Blue Jays, so that stinks.
Thank you.
I really wanted it to be the Seattle Mariners.
Well, we do fine on Seattle, actually. We just do better on the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays
And
are
what
like our
about
best
the
case.
Dodgers being back in the World Series now?
We do okay on that. Our guys did a pretty good job this year of we're a small loser to them, but I can live with that. You know, anytime you can be a small loser to the Dodgers, to the Lakers, to the Golden Knights when you're booking out here in Nevada, that's actually a win. Because I know I've heard that some other operators around the city don't do as well on the Dodgers. They don't do well.
Well, that's good that you guys are in good position then. John Murray, you always put us in good position when you come here on the show. Last Call Sunday. Thank you as always for those needs. We wait all morning for them. So you made our day.
Of course. Kelly can always text me, you know. I mean, she has my number. Okay, whatever.
No,
whatever.
I mean, you just told her that you were that was my friend.
Well, yeah. Sure, well, you guys are very close.
Yeah. I'm going to spend a whole week with her in Aruba.
When?
So I leave 2 weeks from this past Friday. So I leave on Halloween for a week with my family. Then the second week she's meeting me. So about 3 weeks from now.
Yikes!
And I'm going to be doing Last Call Sunday, and she'll be there. So
in Aruba, and I'll be on that show.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'll
so
look
everyone
forward to
should tune in. It's like the second week of November. It's going to be great.
I am looking forward to that. I can't wait.
She'll She'll just chime in.
Oh yeah.
Or she'll scream in the background, John.
She's a chimer inner, isn't she? You know, she's a habitual line stepper. That's what I would call Kelly.
A lot.
You know? Yeah.
But yet she gets mad. Our biggest fights are at the Westgate when we go into the elevator, because I don't let people come out of the elevator. It's a New York thing. You just get right into the elevator before people come out of the elevator.
That's a New York thing? What?
Yeah, like the subway too. You just get on. There's no waiting for people to get off. You just get on.
You're supposed to let people off first. What if
the elevator door's closed and now you miss the elevator and now you've got to wait again? You got to get right on.
I don't know. That seems. You see, you can probably get away with that because you're a female. If I did that, everyone would be like, "Look at this guy. What a jerk."
Nah, you're very established there, and you probably have your own private elevator.
Oh, I wish I did. Do you
have elevators there? Nah.
Rarely. I have gone upstairs for meetings before.
Okay.
But rarely, to your point. Yes, very rarely.
Well, everyone should check out the Westgate. The Superbook is one of the best places to watch games, especially on football Sundays, just not with Kelly during the Super Bowl if you're on the other side. John Murray, have a great Sunday. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Our last guest of the day is coming on, giving us his best bets of the day. You could catch him here on all WagerTalk platforms. He talks NFL. He's got soccer. He's got hockey. He does it all. And he's going to probably be watching his Toronto Blue Jays tonight as they try to tie up the series and send this to a Game 7 against the Seattle Mariners. Let's bring on Carmine Bianco. What's up, Carm?
Hey, Ariel. How are you?
Is this the first Sunday in a long time that you are more excited for a baseball game than a football game?
I'll be honest with you. I'm excited more about football today.
Really? I thought you were going to be so excited about the Blue Jays.
Yeah, you would think so. I don't know if it ends today or not. It's been a great ride nonetheless. And I have to give you props for putting up with me because, I like to play, not the troll, but to give it to you every once in a while about the Yankees. And listen, the Jays beating the Yankees means nothing unless you beat Seattle and then you beat whoever it is in the World Series. No one raises a banner that says we beat the Yankees. right?
That's true. I mean, they might, honestly. They might for the next Yankees.
Well,
and
Toronto is
Panthers.
they have the Leafs who haven't won anything since 1967, so they're itching for a winner here somehow in Toronto. But I'm hoping for a good game. I would love to see a game 7. Toronto's going absolutely nuts for the Blue Jays, so we'll see what happens tonight with this game. But I'll keep one eye on it. Most of my actions on the early stuff today, even in Circa. So I'm loving what's happening with the Rams game, and I already have Cincinnati in the Bengals in the bank as far as one of my Circa picks. So
Okay, so heating up. Who else do we have today?
So the last 3, and I'm on a very good Circa run as well too, is the Browns. I like the Browns today.
Oh, that's so fun. That's going to be a really fun
Yeah.
one.
Oh
In
yeah,
the
isn't it?
rain and the
It's
winds
just-
against Miami. That's a blast.
So, which brings me to this. So, Gianni talked about the books adjust, and you look at the numbers adjust. And when I was looking at props today, I was one of the first ones, and even during the week, I was looking at the Dolphins are so terrible against the rush. I think they allow 168.5 yards per game. And Judkins was at in the 70s, the mid 70s. He's at 94.5 now.
He was 84.5 this early this week. And I don't mean early this season. You're talking early this season. He started in the 70s. He was at 84.5 on Tuesday or Wednesday when it first came out. And now it's up to 90.5 for his rushing yards.
Yeah. It's absolutely insane to the point where you have to look at the under now. I get it. If the weather is bad, and I posted in the Slack there, one of the news reporters had put what it looks like, and the storm moving over at around noon and should hit around game time. But even then, it doesn't mean it's just going to be strictly a 90% run game for the Cleveland Browns. So 94.5. If it gets any higher prior to game time, I'm just going to hit the under and look at it that I'm getting probably 15 to 20 yards more than I should be, because everyone is overreacting to that number. But as far as the Browns go, I can't bet on anything Miami related. I don't know what pitchers McDaniel has on the Miami ownership, but he's 1-5, and his record against, the Browns are not a 500 team, but his record against 500 teams is miserable. They could be 0-6. They beat the Jets, who are 0-6. That's their only win of the season. I'll take the Browns with a rookie quarterback. I'll take Browns with their running game, and hopefully give me another Circa win. The other one's the Titans, and I'm happy that Gianni likes the Titans as well too. And then I'm finishing it off with the Eagles. So I'll know by 1:00 how my Circa ones turned out.
That Eagles-Vikings game has fluctuated between 2.5, 1.5. John Murray just came on and said they took early action on Minnesota, but late action now on Philly. What led you to liking the -2.5 with Philly, unless you grabbed 1.5?
I got it 1.5 for 1.5 for me, but it's similar to I still think, and Dan Alexander and I, who is a huge Eagles fan, and I talked him off. Oh my God, he was going to take Minnesota in the Circa. I talked him. He says I talked him off of it. I didn't tell him not to take it, but he told me later that he didn't take it because of my take on the Eagles. And I just think that the Eagles will be fine. I get it. 2 straight losses. Teams go through that. The Bills are kind of going through that, although I think the Eagles are a much better team than the Bills are at the moment. And Minnesota with those 2 games in Dublin and then in England coming back, they've had a bye week, but they're 2-4-1. I think their last 7 off a bye week, so it's not ultra impressive like some teams are coming off a bye. And I just think the Eagles can get it done if they can establish that run game. And Jalen Hurts. I'll joke around with Dan about Jalen Hurts just being a running back under center.
The problem is that he's holding on to the ball for too long, and his wide receivers aren't getting any separation. There seems to be a massive issue going on between Jalen Hurts and his receivers.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with AJ Brown. That team needs to. This is one of those games in which a win. I don't want to say turns the season around, because they're 4-2, I believe, or the record. but in essence, get some kick-started again. Sometimes you need that game, and against Carson Wentz, who's going today. McCarthy isn't even backing up from what I've heard. So he's
It's
not
kind
in
of
the
a
game.
revenge game against Carson Wentz's former team, the Eagles.
Yeah. No, it's Eagles. It's Eagles for me. Hopefully they get it done, and we're 5-0 in Circa and a good shot at the quarter, and we'll be top 100 as far as we're hitting over 60% in Circa. So let's just keep that one going.
Anything in the late
Another
afternoon
one.
slate?
Nothing in the afternoon. The night game. So nobody wanted to talk about the night game.
No.
I like the Niners. I like
Okay.
the Niners in this spot. I think it's
At minus 1.5.
bounce. Yeah, bounce opportunity. Atlanta coming off a big win against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills, despite getting those rushing yards, I think James Cook had like 78. The Bills should have run the ball more because that Atlanta pass rush just kept getting to Josh Allen, forced them into 2 INTs, sacked them 4 times. That's not your typical Josh Allen game. He was under fire the whole game. They should have run the ball down Atlanta's throats, and they could have. I think that's something that San Fran can do. I also think that it's something that Mac Jones can do. Is he can scramble, he can run for yards. They get George Kittle back, so that's got to be a positive for him. So I do like San Fran in the game, but I'm not gonna say I love it, but I really like the Kyle Pitts. Everyone's fantasy football flop. Kyle Pitts. Every year I draft Kyle Pitts, and every year I'm disappointed. I think he only had 4 TDs
I feel
last
you.
season.
Every time I bet Kyle Pitts, it feels like a loser or that it's going to come down to the wire.
But his receiving yards are 36.5 as of this morning, and he's gone over that in 4 of the last 5 games, or 4 of the 5 games this season. The only one he didn't was against the Bills, and it's just because they didn't need him. He had his fewest targets, his fewest receptions. I think 3 receptions on 4 targets for like 18 yards, but he's had 37 or more in every other game. So maybe this is the brand new Kyle Pitts senior, and we see him get some yards today against this San Fran defense that is missing, as John Murray mentioned, is missing what's his name, Fred Warner.
Warner. Yeah, the leader of that defense in San Francisco is gone for the season. It's so unfortunate because the 49ers have all the talent in the world on paper, but this injury bug back-to-back years is just absolutely wild. And a game on Monday night, Carmine, that has an injury bug impacting the team and a few suspensions potentially. Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Finding out today that Emeka Egbuka could be playing tomorrow. Mike Evans should play tomorrow for Tampa. So the receivers are somewhat back potentially in Tampa. Yet the line's been moving in favor of Detroit, and a lot of people are liking Detroit minus 5.5. John Murray said now they're moving the line to 6.5 on Detroit. Is Tampa really worth being a 6.5 point dog?
Probably not the way they're playing. Baker Mayfield's having a fantastic season, but it's the Lions
At home.
And at home. When you expect them to win, they lay a dog like they did against, I think it was KC. When you expect them to lose, like I thought they would against the Ravens, they play well. So I don't know. This Detroit team's tough to figure out, but they have a coach who has like iron, for lack of a better word. I'm sorry. He's got like balls of stone, as Johnny Detroit would say. He will gamble, and you want a coach like that sometimes. He's not Riverboat Ron, but he is a guy that when he does gamble, his team loves it, and when he just finds a way of winning. You know, I thought a few weeks ago that Detroit they weren't favorites to win after losing to Green Bay. Green Bay were the favorites to win that division. I said it's Detroit's division to lose. I still feel that way. So give me Detroit, but I think that's going to turn out to be a game in which people are likely going to look to either tease to next week or not, because they're going to like at 6.5. They might not like the spread, but in a 6-point teaser, if they figure Detroit's going to win, they're going to look to tease that. It might be the second part of a teaser because you might have people coming in with like Denver at home today. You might have people coming in on the Green Bay Packers and teasing them down to a near pick 'em against Arizona.
Anything else you like today?
That's pretty much it. I thought about the Jets-Panthers game and because of the weather, but everyone seems to be betting the under. But I also thought about Dowdle, his rushing yards under 65.5. The Jets did very well in stopping the Broncos last week. The Broncos, I think, had 78 yards of rushing overall at home. That hardly ever happens. Maybe the Jets are turning a page. And they're about to get their first win. I hope not, because I have some friends who are Jets fans. And I just love to
Kelly
bug them
said
all
friends
season
don't
long.
let friends bet the Jets.
Yes, they don't. So it's that meme it's that video reel that I see on Instagram all the time of President Trump talking about and it's the Jets, and he's talking about we're going to do so much winning, and he's talking about in July that you're going to be tired of our winning, and then in September it's like these guys are. These guys don't know what they're doing.
Bad.
So,
they are so bad. But Carmine, you are definitely not bad. You are great, and you are so helpful each week that you come on Last Call. What are you promoting today?
5% play up in the NFL. Last week we had the Seattle Seahawks as an easy winner on that one, and a couple other plays as well too. So you can pick up the 3-pack. I've included them all together in one package as an NFL All Access package. You can get that over at WagerTalk. Hockey, I haven't decided on a card yet. Went 3-1 last night in NHL, so we'll see if we can pick up a winner later today. And that's pretty much it until next week. Champions League. I'm looking forward to some really good soccer games next week. If you like to bet some afternoon action on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you can find that. And of course, coming up in about 1 hour's time, Andy Lang with End Zone Live. If you have not watched this show, you've got to watch it. Just a bunch of us, pretty much as if there's 4 of you or 5 of you or 6 of you in a bar, giving each other a hard time, sweating games. We give out prop bets and game bets before we go, before the game starts, so you can come along as well too. And I'm going to have a anytime touchdown same game parlay that I will have up before then. I'm still working on it, Ariel, but those are the ones that if you hit one, it's like, okay, Aruba, I'm coming. So let me know if you see the Blue Jays in Aruba in like a couple days time, because if they lose today, that's where they're going. Is it Aruba or Cancun?
Aruba.
What's the joke?
Well, the players, they go to Cancun. Ariel goes to Aruba.
Yes.
Sometimes the players are in Aruba, though. It's a great place to be. I'll be watching football there in a couple weeks from now. Cannot wait. Carmine Bianco, you're the best. Follow him at Carmine Bianco, WT. Obviously, it stands for Wager Talk. And check him out on all of our Wager Talk platforms. Good luck today, Carm. We'll see you next week.
You as well. Thank you.
I've got some props for today's slate. I'm going to give you a few, and the rest are posted to the PropQueen.com's newsletter. You can subscribe to that. I give out my entire long list, so I don't bet all of them because that would be insane. And I give out my long list. And what happens is sometimes I choose from my long list and I choose the losers, and then the others are winners. So you guys should check out the long list, because the long list is where you could find, okay, like this is good information. I tell you where there's all the prop edges. And over at props.cash, I love those guys. Props.cash is a great spot for finding prop edges in the market. You can find out how many of each position has gone over their prop or under their prop against certain teams. So for example, on props.cash, and you could sign up with promo code PropQueen, you get 50% off the first month. You could see that, let's say, Geno Smith today. So I like his over 10.5 rushing yards. And you would see that 5 of the 6 quarterbacks to face the Chiefs this year have gone over their rushing yards prop. That's what props.cash gives you. And Geno Smith, so he had at least 20 rushing yards in both games when facing a team that's bottom 10 against mobile quarterbacks or bottom 10 against the run. Those were the Chargers and the Bears. He had at least 20 rushing yards. So this is just 10.5. Last time that he played in Arrowhead in 2022, Geno Smith ran for 16. The Chiefs allow the 3rd most rushing yards per game to quarterbacks, 31 yards a game. The Chiefs are also top 10 in blitz rate. So if you're going to get pressure up front, Geno Smith's going to have to make something happen with his legs, and they're double-digit dogs. So if the pocket's closing, Geno Smith is going to have to scramble. I'm going to go over 10.5 rushing yards. You can get this in 1 first down. Alvin Kamara, I gave out earlier this week. It's moving against me a little, which scares me. 43.5 now. It was 45.5 when I bet it on Wednesday. The Saints are getting the Bears, and the line already moved from +5.5 to +4.5 in favor of New Orleans. The Bears have the second worst run D in football. They're allowing 126 rushing yards a game to running backs. Kamara's a Pro Bowl back. He's going to have to run the football to dictate time of possession. And if the Saints can maintain time of possession, then there's a good chance they cover and win this game outright. The closest that Kamara had to a bad run D this year, he faced the Bills and he ran for 70. But this is the worst run D, Chicago, the worst run D he's seen all year. So I'm going to go with the over on rushing yards for Alvin Kamara today. Quentin Johnson, over 22.5 yards for longest reception. He's gone over it in 4 of 5 games this year. According to props.cash, he's averaging 36 yards per longest catch this season. And the Colts have allowed the 4th most receiving yards per game to wide receivers. So I do like that one as well. And a tight end prop you could look at, Mason Taylor has a really good matchup. It's a high number at 39.5. He's only faced 2 teams bottom 10 in receiving yards allowed to tight ends. The first game was against the Steelers, and that was the first game of the year. He only had 20 receiving yards. However, down the line of the season, he had 65 receiving yards against Miami. So the Panthers have allowed the most. They are the worst defense in the league against tight ends this season, allowing 74 receiving yards a game. A tight end has gone over their receiving yards prop in 4 of the 6 games against the Panthers this year. So those are some of my favorite props for today's games. Again, thepropqueen.com. You can go subscribe and you can see the entire long list of all of the props I like for the 1 and the 4 o'clock Eastern time slates. Who will win this Sunday night football game involving the Falcons and the Niners? I don't really have a feel for that game. Carmine just gave out the Niners at -1.5, said he likes the number. They've been getting through injuries all season. Nobody had any say, honestly, when it came to that game, though, between Yanni, between John Murray. I'll tell you guys the needs again from John Murray. Raiders, Titans, Arizona. He said New England is the most lopsided ticket count of the day. They also need the Giants-Broncos under, the Green Bay Arizona under, and the Blue Jays and the under in the ALCS. So those are the needs. If you like to be on the same side as the sports book over in Vegas, the Superbook at the Westgate, those are the sides that they'll be rooting for today. I'm going to be rooting for my props. I'm going to be rooting for all of you guys. And, I guess I'll be rooting for the Seattle Mariners. Even though, I do want John Murray and the Blue Jays to win, but I really want the Mariners to go to the World Series. Really, really badly. I would love a Mariners-Dodgers World Series. Good luck to all your bets today. We will see you next week here on Last Call Sunday. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. And we, again, best of luck to all of you.